Hello and welcome, Rocket League fans. We are here and we are live. The WSSEA Middle School Rocket League Grand Finals coming hot at you. I'm FBI Tugboat and here with my man Hot Sauce. Hot Sauce, how we feeling?
Hey, feeling great. Excited to be back into the booth with you and casting some Rocket League here for these middle school. We're going to showcase all the wonderful young talent here in both of these teams. I think have gone undefeated throughout the regular season. So this grand final is going to be an exciting one.
Crazy stuff, crazy stuff. We're about to hop right on into it, but first, I want to give a huge shout out to one of the organizations that makes competitions just like this one possible. That, of course, is Zotac. Yes, we want to give a huge shout out to Zotac Gaming for powering today's stream. Thanks to their incredible support, we're able to bring this broadcast to all of you, which, of course, helps to showcase some of the young talent within Scholastic Esports. Now, let's go ahead and show our appreciation for Zotac Gaming and give them a shout out over there on social medias. Make sure to join the community on Discord, and don't forget to use the hashtag powered by Zotac or hashtag Zotac USA when you post. I want to give a bit of an additional shout out to Zotac for their continued support here from Scholastic Esports within WSSEA. We'll be running it back, same bat channel, same bat time, same format, everything else like that, Hot Sauce, next semester, in part thanks to the help over here from Zotac. Enough about that. Let's go ahead and hop on into this. This is Mason Rocket League Team 2 Mustangs. The Mason Mustangs coming on in here. It's the 4 seed taking on the number 2 seed, the Tenino Esports Knights.
Yeah, Tenino too. I mean, you and I got to cast their high school team that played very well this season. Ended up winning, I think, the championship over there as well. So maybe the middle school looking to repeat what the high school has done, and just kind of shows that they've got a really great program over here as well.
Yeah, do not be surprised if some of the coaching staff may not have like a direct influence, like, you know, there every day, right, for the middle school program, but at least some of the strats and other things like that, like the macro level, right, not the micro level, and actually, like, you know, day-to-day processes coaching-wise. But don't be surprised if some of that coaching has gone across from, you know, the affiliated Tenino High School with the, you know, corresponding Tenino Middle School. These Knights, though, have set forth a impressive scoreline across their regular season, and now not dropping a game through the first best of 3 rounds, quarterfinals, semifinals, now coming into the grands.
Yeah, I think both of these teams were 8-0 heading into the playoffs, where, again, they both had a flawless run. So these two juggernauts get to go head-to-head here in a best-of-5 in just a few moments to crown our champion. But, I mean, regardless of the outcome, both of these teams can be very proud of their achievements this season. And, I mean, to make it this far, I think really speaks volumes for both teams remaining undefeated. One of them, after today, will have a notch in that loss column, though.
They most certainly will. They most certainly will. We'll see which of these is going to come forth and actually come out on top. A little bit of an extended series here as well, Hot Sauce. Best of 3s earlier, quarterfinals, semifinals here, but now grand finals. We're giving these young folks, the Scholastic Esports talent, a little bit more room to go forth and spread their wings Rocket League style. Now, we'll be looking at classic stuff, 3-on-3, 5 minutes, 6 players total, right? 4 corners, 2 nets, and a single ball. I think I did all the numbers there, right, Hot Sauce? Maybe not.
I believe so. It sounded great to me anyway. So, you know, I'm here. Yes, very good. But yeah, I mean, for me, I'm looking to see maybe who's that more aggressive team right off the rip. A lot of times, I think when teams are having trouble, it's because of the aggression of their opponents. So, who can kind of match that aggression? Who's doing a good job of boost management? Looking for those bumps or demos on that, you know, the play after the play, as we like to call it. Once you find that pass downfield or a shot on target, as you circle out, look for a bump or a demo, looking to open up some of that space. So, you know, but at a bare minimum, we're just here to have some fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. As we always say, undying honor and glory being bestowed upon the middle school that does go forth, take a W here, but having fun, sportsmanship, obviously, most paramount things here within WSSEA, within all the competitions that we do go forth and run. Mason Mustangs, number 4 seed, coming on in here, number 2 seed, the Knights. Now, like you just said, both of these teams undefeated. I hate to see what that number 1 seed, as these young folks are getting ready to take this one on, and let's talk a little bit about the number 1 seed, right? This is the Hunt TOL Rocket League squad that completely decimated. That is HH Rocket League in the quarterfinals right there, 2-0 rout. But this is the Mason squad that did the same thing to them, 2-0 in the semis.
Oh, we don't have to wait any longer. We're going to get right down into it here. Mason versus Tenino. And already a little bit of back and forth to start things up. We see Warp down into the corner looking for a bit of a clear. We'll have some help from the teammate. And I think it's pretty normal. We see a lot of this pong action, especially in these game number ones. It's just kind of feeling out the opponents here, getting a feeling for how their strategies are going to kind of work in front of them. So we believe that's what we're seeing here in game one.
Absolutely. Just a little bit of a slower down pace of play. Ooh, cannot get up to this one. Momentum just a little bit too lateral on that. Mason going to be scoring first on this one.
Well, they're able to strike first and get a little bit of breathing room for themselves here. But again, in a game like Rocket League, 4 minutes and 23 seconds can seem like an eternity here. Plenty of time for Tenino. Look to work back in. We see Warp now pressuring the attack.
Looked like it was another situation of a quick off kickoff goal here. Mason once again pressuring, tries to follow this one up. Hot Sauce can't quite get the angle they so desired.
And still trying to find it here momentarily as we see him circling back and now in the Finnick. Ironically, the name Finnick as well could slightly get confusing here in the future. Warp's stepping out, finds a bit of a touch of his own, and now Nino Esports 7 pressuring forward, tucked in toward the corner. Warp, they're looking for an opportunity here. It looks like not quite able to find that clear just yet is Mason. All right, heading downfield here now. Continuing to fight around. It looks like Warp going to keep the drive alive, maintaining this pressure right now. We see Mason going up for the opportunity. Touch into the corner, able to collect the 100 here as well. And now a shot on target, but still not able to crack the code. The defense playing very well. And Mason Mustangs doing great on both sides of the pitch here at the moment. We see Mason 103 looking to step up here and find a touch of his own. A nice little pitch into the sidewall that does send it booming the other direction. But and a little bit of danger in front of the net here for Mason. They can't quite find a way to get it out. Warp Tenino, they'll find their first one, and we find ourselves all tied up. 1-1. Tenino took them a little bit longer, but they found that first goal, and now we'll probably see him start to settle down into a style here of Rocket League that we're used to. Maybe a little less of that pong action, a little more control as we see him. And I know tucking it down into the corner here. Warp does pop it back up toward the net, looking for a secondary touch. Is met here by Mason, though. And with that, Esports 7 into pressure around the horn, is able to do it. Maybe a little too much on that one. It does go flying by the net here momentarily, and so another shot on the target. Tenino looking to be that relentless firing squad. Mason eventually getting some breathing room here as they're able to get down to the other side here, looking for an opportunity of their own. Now at midfield, Warp circling around. Not a ton of boost in the tank to work with here as well. You have to be careful and cautious of that boost management. An equally important aspect here to the squad as we see Warp hoops it up at midfield. Now pressuring the other direction. Mason looking for something off the sidewall. It's a shot on target. And what a save from Finnick coming across the goal line. Able to knock this one away. And already in transition back the other direction. It's a shot on target. And this time it's Warp yet again. Able to slip this one on by. And Tenino, it took them a little bit of time to get going here. But they seem to have found their stride. It's a beautiful shot off the post that finds Tenino up by 1 here in game number 1. Remind, it is a best of 5 here today. Regardless of this first game, we'll have plenty more to come and plenty of opportunities here for either team to put some wins on the board. Warp again out through the sky. The passing plays from Tenino really starting to come alive. We see the give and goes, the pass toward in front of the net there. The team looking to capitalize on any opportunity. Now booming the other direction once more. Mason will have to find the stop. Finnick fires a shot of this one just above the crossbar here. Now a little bit of breathing room for Mason. They're able to find that clear. Looking to pressure the other direction. Collecting these nickels and dimes. The 100 there at mid as well. Looking to re-up on the boost. A bit of a double commit. They have to be careful here, but Mason will find a way to pressure forward from midfield. A shot toward the target, looking to maybe draw out one of these defenders, but now it's Tenino looking for a breakaway play, and they might just get it. Warp has a defender to beat, but it's a nice step up here by Mason. Recollect that 100 down into the corner here. I'll look to find a way to get it clear. Not able to do it just yet. Mason 101. Met here with a pinch as well. The ball floating high and dry, and Mason pass backwards toward the goalie. Able to scoop it up. They find that half clear for the moment. Tenino. And these third player rotations have been absolutely on point here. And they've done a great job of keeping the drive alive here in the second half of the game. Just 23 seconds left in this one for Tenino to wrap up game number 1. And now through the air, Warp. These big booming clears, eating up 7 to 10 seconds off the clock with nearly every play. Mason, after scoring first, hasn't been able to find that second one time, slowly dwindling away. Finnick. Ball gets taken away here at midfield. Maybe one more opportunity here for Mason. The ball in front of the net. This is a dangerous position. The shot was there, but they don't quite connect, and we almost saw an overtime, but Tenino will be able to wrap up game number 1. Quick look at the stat line here as well. 4 shots for Warp, finding 2 goals. A couple shots for Finnick, a save and an assist there, but everybody getting involved. Mason, on the other side of things, we see a couple shots, 3 very nice saves and a goal for them, but yes, slightly falling short here in game number 1. 3 is that magic number for us to get to here. And for Tenino, they got the opportunity to start out on the right foot. So up by 1 here in the series. An opportunity to extend the lead just a little bit more here as Mason, the Mustangs, will look to reel the series back here. Already with some early pressure is Mason this time. Now Finnick across midfield. Look at the aerial control here. Absolutely beautiful. Tries to drop the pass down. Does get scooped up here though. Warp was looking for a flick shot, but Mason 103 does a great job of realizing it, stepping up into play and finding the block here as well. And now again, a bit of back and forth to start off game number 2, but Warp with the control off the pass of Esports 7, and it's Tenino to strike first this time.
A fantastic job. Sorry to have cut out there for a second and ghost my hardware or something like that. Hot Sauce, you with me?
Oh yeah,
Fantastic.
Loud and proud, baby. We hear you.
Fantastic, fantastic. Glad I cut back in just in the nick of time. Tenino putting one up here earlier. Now enlighten me. How did game number 1 finish?
Well, Mason scored first, but it was Tenino with 2 goals, ending in 2-1 fashion to favor Tenino. So they do have a 1-point lead here in the series, and already looking to showcase some more of this talent in front of the net. But we've seen a lot of back and forth to start off each game, and then around that 3-minute mark, it seems both teams really settle into their play style.
Again, kind of along the themes that we were talking about there, about starting a little bit slow, kind of feeling out the other squad. Well, this is now game 2, and after the first minute or so, a little bit of that wiggle room time is over. Nice clear off to the right side, maybe a little bit contentious there, maybe from Tenino. Finnick comes up for it, tries to hit it. At least some kind of progress onto ball there. Warp, though, leaving it for the teammate, unfortunately. The side of Tenino, Mason strikes back. This one on in for a tying factor.
Able to find that equalizer. They give themselves plenty of time to work with here as well. And, well, at least so far in game 1, it was the team to score second that went on to win. So maybe Mason looking to keep that theme true here today, looking to tie up that series, and already early pressure off the kickoff. It's a nice shot that does get blocked away.
A little bit of earlier aggression right off the kickoff here, and Warp doing a great job of handling this one all the way in. Maybe an open net situation. Can't quite hold on to it. This Mason player does. And a free situation right there, unfortunately. Now you need a little bit more of a neutral situation. A little neutral ground here, Hot Sauce.
For some neutral ground, but right now it's all of this pressure coming in. We see the save coming out. It was a nice shot from Finnick. Now push back the other direction already here. The ball floating high and dry once more. Mason looking for this clear. Move it up the 100 in toward the corner. This one does go by Warp here as well, but he has a teammate. Looks to pressure in, but again, back and forth we go. Now at midfield, Mason by one defender, one more to beat. It's a flick shot over the top, but Tenino finding some defense of their own.
Now a backwards hit right here and a nice, even better clear. Tries for some physical play on the other side. Warp is going to have none of that, Hot Sauce. A bouncing flip right there, and it's just going to yield in a change of possession for a couple of seconds. Shot attempt right there and forcing the hands. Mason 110 here. Not enough boost to really get up to that ball, and it's going to be another offensive opportunity. Nah, Finnick can't quite get this angled just perfectly to the inside.
A bit of a half clear coming in. Finnick does scoop it away. Now looking for something off the sidewall here. It's Mason 110 to recollect that boost, though, and is able to get by two defenders, circling back toward that net, pressuring forward here as well. Needing a little help from these second and third man rotations here, though. They try to step up and find this pressure now, and it's Mason 110 doing a good job of maintaining that possession for a little while here, but now Tenino on the counterattack. It was a nice pass toward the front of the net, but Mason reads it well, and now the other direction. It's a shot from downtown, and Finnick gets this initial save here, but there was just too much power on the ball, carrying that forward momentum and just able to find the back of it. I mean, Mason up by one now.
Yeah, a great defensive attempt there from Finnick. It's always going to be difficult to try and change your momentum. Going backwards, upside down, backward, backwards, up in the air and everything else like that. Not to even be talking about how much boost you might have at the time. So a solid defensive attempt right there. It's going to be a difficult shot no matter who you are. Finnick can't quite bring that one in, and Mason retains the lead. They struck first in game number one. Enjoyed a lead for a little while there, but it was Tenino who came out on top. Now it's Tenino. Needs to get at least one here in the next 80. Bring this one back from the brink and maybe even start on a run of their own.
Oh, Mason looking to put a little nail in toward that coffin there and extend the lead by two. It was a dangerous play, but Tenino coming away unscathed momentarily as Mason through the sky. It was a nice attempt and a beautiful save again from Tenino, showing that they can play very well on both sides of the ball, but they're not out of the deep water just yet. Mason has really upped the ante. It's a long booming clear the other direction, and it's a walk-off goal here for Tenino, and they find that equalizer with 45 left on the clock.
Nicely done. We started here. We'll end at a tied situation, or at least the first 4 minutes and 15 seconds, Will Hot Sauce. Mason's got to feel like a little bit of this was like kind of a squandered opportunity, right? They forced like this full three-man press all the way up on the other side of the pitch, leaving nobody back on the other side. You have to anticipate those happening sometimes. Mason not shooketh whatsoever. 3 shots, 2 goals here from Warps. This one off a kickoff.
I mean, just about 4 seconds off the clock there as they find a very quick goal here. And now Mason, again, they get a little bit of breathing room, but you can't get complacent. You have to continue to do what's been working here. Tenino, I mean, with 38 seconds, that's plenty of time to still find one more goal. They just have to string together a couple nice plays, maybe find a pass or a cross down in front of that net. But Mason able to steal this one away, and these booming clears are going to continue to eat about 5 to 7 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Mason definitely knows that as well, Hot Sauce. I mean, don't be surprised if you see a Mason defense kind of turtle up around this net a little bit just to play that time-wasting game, get that sand out the hourglass here. Mason 101 finds a decent save. Again, another couple of seconds off. Oh, my goodness, another shot attempt now. Going to be triple-digit situations. Cannot let this ball touch the ground. Enough boost to get up to it. Mason 110 with a big clear. Anybody trying gets this hit out to the outside. Not going to be enough. A 3-2 game. The way this second of our best of 5 goes, and we have a tied ball game on our hands. 7 total shots here from Mason, 6 for Tenino, so no one really coming out on top on that one. But where my eyes are drawn to, of course, is the 5. Yes, count them, 5 saves there from Finnick. Mason 110, putting up 3 of them.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good back-and-forth battle here from both of these two teams, and so far, both games have only been separated by a goal, and so far, it's both teams to score second that went on to win. So essentially, this best of 5, the rope gets tightened a little bit, and it becomes a best of 3 now here between these two teams. They've got to get to that magic number of 3. 2 more wins for either team would allow them to be crowned champions, and claim that championship here. So honestly, it's, I feel like whoever wins this next game is going to have that big benefit. You get a couple extra opportunities to look to close the series out. You get a little bit of breathing room, and so maybe a little weight taken off the shoulders with a big win here from either team.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Talking about helping out, weights off the shoulders. Can't have that conversation without LandFest. Yes, thanks to LandFest for building healthy communities through gaming. Over 20 chapters across the U.S. and 150 events per year, Hot Sauce. And y'all can go on over to landfest.com and check out the Washington chapters, which is, of course, Infernoland and Emerald City LandFest, to find an event near you. Mason 110 with a solid little opportunity right there. Kind of gifted in almost an open net situation, Hot.
Looking for maybe something, they'll take anything they could get. Honestly, anyone would at that point, but unfortunately not fortunate enough to find that one just yet. Mason on a bit of a breakaway play. Looks to maybe fake out the defenders, gets by one, has to beat a second over the top, but just barely clips the post. And Mason 110 channeling their inner Lionel Messi out there.
Seriously, just weaving their way through defenders, off the wall, back down, dribble against the ground right here, and almost gets it across too. Would have been a fantastic play if it had landed. As it is kind of stands as maybe a little bit of a standing warning, like, hey, we can do this right in front of you. Nothing has to be high flying, acrobatic through the air, double musty reflick, nothing of that. I can just bring this one back to the... And it really put pressure on your defense without a whole lot of boost expended either.
Yeah, again, we talk about how important that boost management can be. It can make or break some teams, especially on that defensive side of things. If teams are able to starve the hundreds away in those corners from their opponents, and be very rewarding. But again, per usual, in the opening moments, we see a lot of back and forth pong action between both teams. The ball right now dangerously floating in front of that Tenino territory there as they look to find that clear, but haven't quite been able to find it just yet.
And also cannot really be surprised when you're looking at five scores is reaching towards a higher scoring game, right? 3 is pretty standard, I'd say. Can't really be surprised when the amount of games left just obviously gets whittled down here from 5-3 tied series right now. And both of these teams opt for much less aggressive offenses, more like we're going to take our opportunities when you give them to us, and not really burn a whole lot just to try and get the ball on the other side of the pitch. That's when turnovers happen, and that's how both of these teams have gotten scored against in crucial times as well across games number 1 and 2.
We saw 5 saves from Finnick in that previous matchup. Already finding a nice one there as well, as we're just about to the halfway point. Now at midfield, Mason 101 finds a touch, but it is Tenino who scoops it up, continues the pressure into the corner, grabs the 100 boost there as well, and now circling back will steal the midfield boost away as well, trying to starve this Mason squad of boost. An opportunity for a counterattack. Gets muscled off the ball just a bit, and we'll circle back once more.
It's 110, trying something fancy off the wall right here. And again, just kind of boil this one down to basics. Finnick gets an opportunity and sends this way, way out to the right side. Need to work on the geometry a little bit on that one, Hot Sauce.
Hey, it's about that time for middle school, maybe hitting into geometry here in next year as well. So just fine-tuning those skills just before we get back into school next semester here. But both of these teams, again, it's a much slower scoring game here in this one as they continue to have a bit of a slugfest. It's a scrappy fight between these two teams at the moment. Both still looking for that first goal. A nice shot from midfield that does get intercepted here momentarily. A nice secondary touch does keep it away from the car of Mason here as well. We're just about to that 90-second point here.
Yeah, so some offensive opportunities, but as far as game-wise, I've only seen a couple of shots even awarded. That one is going to be one. Speaking, it shall appear there. Warps. Predator with a save up to this point. Clean, respectful, 100 points. Open net. Finnick inside. But it's the second player who really should have taken the shot right there. Now Mason 110 over 1 over 2. Mason takes the lead.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened if maybe they just accidentally went by that ball, but the third player having to step up, it leaves nobody in the background. We saw Tenino fighting with all the boosts they had on those tiny little engines to get back, but it just wasn't enough. Mason, great control, great situational awareness, didn't get too much anxiety pressuring forward. Sometimes those easiest shots can be the hardest ones to make, but it's Mason.
True.
Find it late here in game number 3. They've got a 1-point lead here to work with, but it's the double tap from Finnick, and Tenino is right back in it.
My goodness. No need to touch the ground right there. Slam dunk right in the face, and could not have come at a better time, Hot Sauce. Tie game, 52 seconds left. Something reminding me of that game number 2. Now, that was a game number 2, I shall remind you folks. Mason Middle School was able to go forth, continue the stampede the Mustangs were, and take that one down, albeit by a single score here. Something tells me this is going to be decided by a single score wherever we do land.
Yeah, I mean, again, it just goes to show how evenly matched these two teams are. There's a ton of talent littered across the entire league, and that's why we see even the number 2 and 3 seeds being undefeated. Ooh, but it's Warp.
Okay.
He says, I don't want to let you finish that sentence. They find another goal, and Tenino with the lead very late in this one.
Some clutch kings. Also, I gotta say, this is kind of the assist there from Mason 110, I believe. They hit this ball. I get what they're trying to do, but when you don't have a whole lot of momentum like that, just some tiny, tiny little miscues. And must touches are definitely possible, Hot Sauce. So at the most crucial of times, in the most crucial of places, aka literally right in front of goal, a minor mistake turns into a goal. The most crucial of times. 10 seconds to go right here, and Mason's got to play like it.
Yeah, still trying to get out of their half. Tenino, again, just doing a great job of eating up a ton of time off the clock. Still in front of the Mason net, and now at risk of maybe finding another late one. And they were hungry for it, but time expires. Tenino will take it, and they're up to, well, map series and championship point here. But again, this game only separated by a single goal yet again. Tenino, though, has only scored 2 goals in every game so far. It's worked for him twice, but we saw in game 2, Mason was able to put 3 on the board, so you're going to need something similar here in game 4.
Yeah, and like, consistency is key. I can definitely dig that, don't get me wrong, but something tells me that the pace of play is going to be turned up a little bit more here in a game 4, especially if Tenino gets up early, and Mason's just going to throw everything against the wall to see what sticks, right? Because why not at that point? Like, loss of 10, loss of 1, all a loss at this point when you're staring down the barrel of a series point, match point, series point, just like you just said, right? Championship point, everything on the line right now.
Everything on the line, backs against the wall, win or go home here, and one already chipped off the crossbar here as Tenino is looking to be that firing squad. Nobody steps up to the ball here, though, and it's a booming clear and a cutback from Mason 110. The Mason Mustangs strike first, and they get a nice 1-point lead.
Gallop into this one as Mason 110 cuts a very hard angle. Like you said earlier, maybe getting a little bit of an early intro to that genre of the geometry, man. Fantastic stuff. That was really, really fast, and that's why I appreciate the angle cut on it so hard and so quickly, right? But about 30 seconds into here, and the Mason scoring drought has ended. They got something early, another lead early in that game number 3. It was about 4 minutes so that they spent completely scoreless, though. So it's got to feel good to get one in early against the Tenino squad. And now maybe gifted another. Nah, it's going to be a horizontal clear on that. Which is always better, Hot Sauce, right? You always want to hit this off to the corner, right, instead of sending it vertically to just land right in front of your net again.
Yeah, always dangerous to find that pass in front of the net. So wise decision to pressure into the corner and then look for that clear. They eventually get it here, and now look to find some pressure of their own toward the Mason Mustangs as Finnick meets him at midfield, able to take it away, picks the pocket, looks to drop it in toward the back of the net. This one, water falling down, and Esports 7 will capitalize. Tenino, they are right back in it yet again, and that's one thing that they've done well here in this series is if their opponents do find a goal, they usually find a relatively quick response here and give themselves plenty of time to work with.
You got to. Well, some quick moves right there. Does purchase a little bit of wiggle room, and Tenino, the squad up 2-1 in the series, gonna be able to tie this one back on up. Early scores seeming like they don't quite mean as much, as pretty much flip-flopped across the first 3 games, and might again a slow roller. Tenino strings 2 together here as Tenino Esports 7 there, credited with both of our early goals. This is kind of a bad luck sort of play with the pinch play as well to the corner.
Yeah. It's that's part of Rocket League, unfortunately, sometimes. True, and, well, Tenino, they'll take it up by 1. Again, a team that's good at once they find that first goal, able to score in bunches, but they haven't put up more than 2 yet in any single game. And you talked about if they do find that lead, we might see that pressure and pace quicken. So with 3 minutes and 15 seconds, they've given themselves plenty of time to find more goals, but at the same time, there's still plenty of time then for Mason to work back in it as well.
It's very true. Very true. More than Anything more than 60 seconds, talked about less than 2 scores, anything is possible in the great game of the Rocket League. Warp X on the backside, some fantastic defense and an even better clear. Finnick is on the case.
Almost muscles that defender away from the ball there as well, and Warped almost finds the double tap as well. We see him beginning to quicken that pace and again apply that pressure, looking to be that relentless firing squad. It's a booming clear, but Finnick, not a lot of boost in the tank. Still able to knock it away, collects the 100 down here in the corner and looks to circle back, meets him for the 50. Really goes in neither favor here, just bounces off that sidewall, but it's Warp who's able to scoop this one up.
Now a big ball right here, an opportunity. Finnick knows it, and Mason 101 recognizes it. A good offensive effort and even better defensive read. Warps down low is going to be able to kind of hit this ball lower and slower, so Finnick should be able to pick this up and sends it wayward. A little bit better of a respect on like the, like the assassin for my geometry, right? That is the the 3-man rotation you always want to go in, right? Stretching the strong side of the field.
We'll see if maybe they can spread the defense out just a little bit. Stretch down some of the sidelines, look for that cross play toward in front of the net there as Mason is able to turn on a dime, sends it right back the other direction, and now in front of the net. It's a dangerous play. Tenino looking for the clear, and eventually they find it. It's Warp who then collects the 100, just a defender to beat, maybe looking for that flick overhead. Doesn't quite find it here, and again, back and forth. Both of these teams realize that everything's on the line here, and time slowly dwindling away now for Mason.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. That 80 seconds or so left. Now, 1 score left. It doesn't really need to change, completely change your pace of play or change your game plan quite yet, but you are slowly approaching that situation. Your name is Mason Middle School. 60 to go here. Finnick picking up a big boost along the way for an offensive opportunity. No, a bounce inside, and Warp barely gets that with the last player back in their position. Kind of left an island there they were.
Yeah, toying with the heartstrings there got me on the edge of my seat as, again, both of these two teams continue to duke it out all across the pitch here. Now scooping up the 100 at mid. T90 Esports looking for a bit of help, but kind of bounced together just a bit there, and maybe a bit of miscommunication. Mason looking for a counterattack of their own. This one's going to go over the net here as well. The pressure of the pinch coming in, and it doesn't quite connect, and now it's Tenino looking for the clear.
24 seconds. Time is ticking, and Mason is playing like it. To the corner. Can't quite get this one, or maybe even really just leaving it for Finnick. We've seen what they can do across the air so far. But I mean, they need this ball on the other side of the pitch, and they need it there right now. Decent clear here, so maybe the beginning of something beautiful. Oh, a more centered ball. Finnick with a bad hit. Oh. Goes in to try and play the defender. Low, slow. Oh, no! Are you kidding me? A quarter of a second away, a low, slow roll fast rolling ball that just wasn't fast enough, Hot Sauce. You add a quarter of a second on top of that, we're looking at a tied game. Another 2-1 win here for Tenino Esports. Wow. Brutal. Absolutely brutal.
That was going in. We were going to overtime, and in a blink of an eye, it just falls short. But again, for Mason, I mean, they have to hold their heads high and be very proud of how well they played throughout the regular season, an undefeated regular season for them. And so you love to see that growth. Obviously maybe not the outcome that they wanted, but again, should be very, very proud of their performance. Every single one of these games here today only separated by a single goal. And so I think that really speaks volumes here for both teams.
Really was. I mean, you come in here, you're undefeated, at least in your most recent matches. 2-0s for both of these squads across all of the postseason situations here. Make it to grand finals. And also, I mean, this wasn't wasn't a sweep either. In fact, looking at the bracket, I believe this is the only one that did not go down in sweep fashion. Obviously, that your best of 3 series than it is for best of 5s or obviously best of 7s, but still I think it's worth noting right here, and both of these schools should go forth and feel really, really good about how they performed. And I mean, 1-score differentials, honestly, the biggest thing that is a surprise to me exiting this is that none of these went to overtime. And again, we were like a quarter of a second away from that being the situation, from us going to a Game 4 overtime, and they'll be playing again right now. We're going to try and get that last little play up there for you guys as well. So here, Leah, let's check it out. We don't usually do this, but it's the grand finals right here from middle school. Let's go ahead and check out this replay of that very last goal. Maybe even go frame by frame for a couple of seconds. Now, this is all the replays, excuse me, so we'll watch all of these, folks. Just be sure to look at the very, very last one. Yeah, so last 15 seconds here. That's perfect. Thank you, production. Play it in just a second.
This is so unreal. Oh, the slow-mo, too.
Oh my goodness,
I still can't believe it.
That's brutal, dude. That was a fast ball, too, right? I called it low.
Yeah.
In the moment, or I called it low and slow in the moment just because, well, it was low, and it was just that. Dude, I'm talking about maybe 8 kilometers an hour, 5 kilometers an hour, or something like that. It's going just a tiny bit faster, and we would be looking at that situation. But no, it is 2-1 games every single look. Yeah, dude, it's the rebound right there. Then Finnick. Yeah, you can even see about 15-20% of the ball is eclipsed past that. Well, folks, you need the full 100. Crazy.
I mean, you're looking at hundreds to thousands of a second there is really all they needed. But again, it just shows how much of a cinema they absolutely put on for us here today. And it's been fun to watch these middle schoolers play. And we do the high school as well. We saw Tenino get a championship. Now the middle school has done it. But I think it's always fun watching these kids grow, eventually go on to play for their high school teams as well. And yeah, I just kind of love seeing that story unfold over the years in the season.
Absolutely. I mean, it is a success story that's been sung 1,000 times before. Middle school, get involved with middle school esports after playing video games a lot when you're younger. Go forth, have success there. Go forth, state championships and other things like this. And a lot of times these clubs and teams in high school and obviously college succeed because of the foundation that has been taught and learned by these players as they're coming through the middle school, high school, and even beyond if they so choose to take. And just the kind of support that is available now for young folks playing Scholastic Esports is amazing. Blah, blah, blah. It wasn't like that when we were younger, whatever, right? I want to give a big shout out to one of the organizations that make competitions just like this Scholastic Esports competition possible. Of course, that is Seattle Built PCs. Thank you to Seattle Built PCs for the continued support of the WSSEA. Seattle Built PCs are the custom PC builders trusted by the pros. Since 2020, they've been crafting incredible rigs for world-famous esports players, content creators with millions of fans, as well as the developers for some of your favorite games. Seattle Built wants to work with you to create the perfect PC for your needs whenever you are ready. So, if you're looking for a custom PC built by people who care, check out Seattle Built PCs over there at seattlebuilt.com. Seattle Built, BUILT.com. Also want to give a big shout out to some of the production staff working behind the scenes, pulling strings to make sure this esports broadcast comes to you. And that is, of course, Connie, that is Taylor, and that is Jaden, producing away and making our jobs as casters that much easier and very much appreciated. Hot Sauce, it is always fun cutting it up and melting the mic with you, sir. Do you have anything else for the good people before we do bid them adieu?
Yeah, again, just thanks to everybody behind the scenes, everybody that was hanging out with us here today. Gaming Landfest Seattle Built PCs. It was a ton of fun to get to cast the championship finals with you as always, Tugboat. We'll remind everybody tomorrow around the same time, Splatoon 3 grand finals as well. So be sure to click that follow button. It's an easy, free way to help out. Be part of that notification gang so you don't miss out on any of the action going on. My name is Hot Sauce, the legend. To my digital right is Tugboat. You guys have been beautiful. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.